All right, we're live. All right, welcome guys. This is a membership class for doTERRA. I am Leila Duke. I've been using doTERRA essential oils for almost 2 years. Next month will be my 2-year mark. When I was introduced to essential oils, I had no idea what they were. No idea the power that they had. Honestly, I just thought they were fragrances. My daughter at the time was 6, maybe 6.5, and she was kind of clinically diagnosed with ADHD. And I just knew in my heart of hearts that I did not want to medicate her. Not that I'm against medication or doctors. We use them both. But I just love her personality. And if any of you know her, you know she is spunky. And I just did not want to diminish her personality. So my friend, had asked me, have you thought about essential oils? At the time, we were using a homeopathic herbal peel, and it was about $150 a month just for one supplement. And she had said, are you interested in oils? Have you ever heard of them? There's a blog that I follow, and this lady's been treating ADHD for her family. So I thought, what do I have to lose? I'm already spending $150 a month. So I bought the Home Essentials kit, and like everyone else who's a member, I really wish now that I would have enrolled with a bigger kit, but I didn't know what I was doing. And so I was really kind of afraid that I spent that much money. So when I got them, I told myself, I'm going to use these oils. Like, I'm not going to push them aside like I do a lot of other things. This was an investment, and I was going to use them. And I'm so glad that I have, because they have revolutionized the way that we treat our family, the way that we approach our health care. We use them every single day in everything. I really can't think of anything where we don't include the essential oils in our life. When you become a member, you're called a wellness advocate. And so what that means is that you are a wellness advocate for yourself and for your family. So our mission, the person who enrolled you, myself, other doTERRA wellness advocates, our mission is to empower you to be able to use these oils for yourself and for your family, and to educate you. We're not here to sell oils. I'm just not a salesperson. If I'm passionate about something, I'll tell you about it. I'm not a teacher by nature, but somehow I keep ending up in these spots. So I'm just going to roll with it. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started with our membership. And I've got a PowerPoint that's going to, let's see here. Be patient with me. All right, so doTERRA membership. All right, so basically, who is not a member in here? Is there anyone that's not a member? Okay, well, even if you're not a member, you could be a member and not even know all this stuff. So that's why we're just going to go back to the basics and review everything. Your doTERRA membership is a wholesale membership. It's $35 for a year, or it's free with an enrollment kit. I like to think of it as Costco. I pay my membership fee, and I can shop when I want to. That is exactly how doTERRA is set up. There are no purchase requirements. You just have to enroll with a membership, and then you can shop when you want to. After your first year, it's $25 to re-enroll, and they will send you, as a thank you, a free bottle of peppermint oil, which is valued at $20.50 wholesale, so it's about $4.50 in essence to re-enroll. So it's a great deal. And basically, the re-enrollment fee I read this week, it just covers their postage of the things that they send to you, because every quarter, about every quarter and every spring, you will get a doTERRA Living magazine, and those are great. Have y'all started to receive those? Okay, you should. If you don't, call customer service. We're growing about 70 to 80,000 wellness advocates a month. So if you get overlooked by, a mailing or something like that, just call customer service, and they'll be willing to help you. Okay, so like I said, it's an optional monthly auto ship program. That's called the LRP. I know a lot of you have heard that. It probably sounds very, very confusing. What is an LRP? An LRP is your loyalty rewards program that is completely optional. But for those of you who already take supplements every single month, who, really like the Virage skincare or the shampoo and conditioner, you're going to be purchasing those things every month. Well, doTERRA will reward you for setting up an auto monthly ship, and it's called the LRP. Completely optional. You can change the date of your shipment. You can edit your cart, and you can cancel at any time. I love that the power is in my hands. Like, they're not controlling me. They're not telling me you have to do this, you have to do that. The only thing is, if you're going to cancel your LRP, you have to call customer service and do it. You can't just do it online. So with your LRP, you're going to earn points each month with your LRP. I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me stop. So you're going to earn deeper discounts on LRP kits. Okay, some of the kits that I have up here are the shampoo and the conditioner and the serum. Another kit is the phytoestrogen, the Bone Nutrient and the Claricom, and then the Virage. And there's other kits too. I posted a link yesterday, you may have seen it, to where if you buy an LRP kit.
Can you maximize that screen so we can see it from back here?
I may be able to.
I'm an old lady and I can't see
Yeah, and
it.
if you want to, you can move up. If you want to come move up here.
Just maximize the screen.
All right, come up here and help me. Because I'm on a screen share right now.
Can you do that little thing right there?
This one?
No, the next one beside it. Let's see what we get here. No, next one. There we
Okay,
go.
thank you. Woohoo! I told you guys, I'm just in this role. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, so I don't want to get ahead of myself. So you can, I didn't really know this at the beginning, but this is awesome. We get wholesale, right? Well, if you buy an LRP kit bundle collection, and I posted a link, I think, on Essentially Radiant yesterday, you get below wholesale. The Virage system, if you buy the box right there that contains all 4 of those, you save $55.50 below wholesale for buying the collection together. So if you were to buy one each individually, it would cost you that much more to buy it. So take advantage of that. The LRP system is for you. Let's see here. Earn 10% off of you'll earn 10% off current monthly promotion. This month, what is it, On Guard? Is it the hand soap and the 2 pumps? Okay. That is 10% off this month. So every month, you're going to have a product that's 10% off. There's a free oil of the month. That is only through the LRP. And with that, the free oil of the month, if you place your LRP order on or before the 15th of every month, you will get the oil of the month. And usually it's an oil anywhere from $10 to $15. This month, it was Wild Orange. Okay, so it's great. It's great to do. If you process your LRP at the end of the month, but you see that there's an oil that's an oil that you want to add to your collection, you can click Ship Now, and you will be able to get your LRP shipped the day that you click Ship Now. We're going to go into detail about that. So another thing about your doTERRA membership is you can earn free oils with the 200 PV promotions. It seems like doTERRA does this about every quarter, maybe every 4 months. Right now, this month, the Deep Blue rub that you see over here beside the Lotus Diffuser and the 5 ml Deep Blue oil, that is free this month. It's about an $89 value if you place a 200 PV order. So it's like buying 200 and get almost 100 free. So they really do have some great promotions. So it really does benefit you to have an enrollment. So this is what I tell people. It is great to ask your friends and family, hey, would you like some oils? Because it introduces them. But really, you're doing a disservice to your family and friends if you don't share the membership with them, because you can see all the great things that it offers. All right, so let's talk about the LRP. The LRP is the Loyalty Rewards Program, and you can see in that little box up here, you've got 10% all the way up to 30%. So basically what that means is when you set up your LRP and you have it set to ship every single month and you don't cancel it, the first 1 to 3 months, you're going to earn 10% back. So let's say I set up my LRP today. I put $100 in my account, in my cart, and it processes. So I am going to get 10% of that, which is $10. It's going to roll over, and I'm going to see it in my back office on the 15th of next month, okay? So your LRP points are going to show up on the 15th of the next month, and that's because that's when commissions are ran, and that's just when they do all the bookkeeping. So I have been with doTERRA, like I said, almost 2 years, and so I'm earning 30% back. So not only am I getting 25% off, if I place a 100 PV LRP order, I'm getting $30 back of free oils. And I had $400 this month worth of free oils to redeem because my points have just been, you know, accruing. So it's a great, great program. It is the most intelligent way to purchase your oils. The monthly auto ship program, it is completely optional. You can edit your cart, change the ship date, and cancel at any time. But just make sure that you make your changes 24 hours before the ship date. When you set up your LRP, you're going to have to enter in your payment information. And it's not going to charge your card at that time. It's going to charge it on the date that you have set it to ship. So if your LRP is set to ship on the 14th, you need to make sure that you go in around the 12th or the 13th by midnight at the absolute latest to edit your cart. Because what it's going to do is if it's set to ship on the 14th, it's going to ship at midnight. It's going to charge your card at midnight on the 14th, not some 5 o'clock on the 14th. Okay, so this is how this works. There are some people who can afford to do the monthly auto ship program. And if you can place a 50 PV a month on your LRP, you will earn points and you will escalate up the percentage scale, okay? If you cannot place a 50 PV, you can only do a 1, which we don't really have anything that's 1 PV. I think we have something that's 5 PV. If you place a 5 PV up to 49 PV, you will hover, you will stay at the percentage where you are, and you will not earn points, okay? But you will keep your percentage. If you call and cancel your LRP, you lose your points and you lose your rank, your level, okay? So this is what I recommend. If you're doing the LRP, you're not going to do it anymore, you need to cancel, you need to go ahead and redeem your points first. Wait till after the 15th to redeem your points because you could be getting more. There is a redemption fee when you redeem your LRP points. For every 100 points, it is a $3 redemption fee. So what I tell people is do not redeem $10. Let it build up. Okay, so this is important. You must be an LRP participant for 60 days before the credits can be redeemed. That's okay. Your LRP points and your percentage level can be found in your back office under dashboard in the upper left-hand corner. And I'm going to show you all this, okay? I've got some pictures so I can show you. Right now I'm just going to tell you, I'm going to give you the visual next. Okay, so 125 PV will qualify you for the free product of the month. Your LRP must ship on or before the 15th of the month. And like I said earlier, you can select ship now if your date is set for after the 15th. Are there any questions on the LRP? Go ahead.
Does it have to be, like, you have it set for the 23rd and you have it shipped the 10th? Does it have to be, like, within 30 days of each other, or is it just per month?
No, it's just per month.
Okay.
It is just per month. And let's say your LRP date is set to ship on the 23rd, but you want that free product of the month. So you make sure your PV is 125. You click ship now. It's the 10th. Well, it's going to go ahead and bump your LRP order to the next month, but it's going to keep the original date that you have chosen, which is the 23rd. So the only way that you can go in and change your actual LRP date is you have to edit it in your back office. And I'm going to show you how to do that as well. Any other questions?
If I make 2 LRPs in 1 month, do I get the product twice?
You do not get the product of the month twice. You can do the promotions more than once. We're starting to cap off on promotions. I think this month it's either 4 or 5 that you can do for. But you will earn points on every single order, okay? All right, let's go to the next one. Shipping rewards. This is great. The reason why doTERRA introduced this last spring is because we have a lot of people who are selling bogus doTERRA oils on Amazon. And a lot of people are Prime members. I am too. I love my free shipping. But I want to make sure that if I'm going to be ingesting these oils that doTERRA says I can internally, I want to make sure that doTERRA confirms that these are, in fact, CPTG, which is certified pure therapeutic grade. When you buy them off Amazon, you're not guaranteed. You're taking that seller's word that these are pure oils. And if you Google online, you will see that someone who has purchased the doTERRA oils from an Amazon seller, the caps are different sizes, okay? You may get some legit oils. I don't know. They're trying to stop that. So what they wanted to do is offer free shipping for their wellness advocates. So this is how it works. Every single month when you place an order, whether it be an online order, an LRP order, or an enrollment order, you're going to earn shipping reward points. They're very similar to your LRP points. So let's go through this. Any online or automated order processed by a wellness advocate, which would be me or a preferred member, will receive 50% of the value of the shipping cost in the shipping rewards program, so SRP points. Now, let's see here. Any loyalty rewards or enrollment order placed through our member services line will receive 50% of the value of the shipping cost in the SR points. So basically, what is that saying? It's saying if you do an online order, it's not an LRP, you're going to get 50% of your shipping. So if you paid $9, you're going to get $4.50. If you are doing an LRP or an enrollment order and you call customer service to get help, you're only going to get 50% of that. Now, if you do everything online, if you do your LRP online, or someone enrolls you, or you enroll yourself online, you're going to get 100% back of your shipping. And I love that. So if I typically do the $8.99 shipping, I have a friend who does the $24.99 just so she can get it quicker. And, you know, I mean, she's getting $25 next month, so she's going to, you know, redeem it anyways. You're going to get 100% of those points back. So if I choose the $8.99 shipping, it rounds up to $9. And so next month, I get a $9 credit in my dashboard to use towards the purchase of oils. Now, your shipping reward points, they last for a whole year. Okay, so if you cancel your LRP, your shipping reward points will stay. Okay, your LRP points will go, but your shipping reward points will stay. So let me back up. LRP points, they also last for a year. So don't just let them hang out too long. Go ahead and redeem them once they start getting close to 100. Any question on shipping rewards and how that works? All right, so your back office. Anyone have not been to their back office yet? Okay. So basically, when you enroll, doTERRA is going to send you a welcome enrollment email. It's going to have your member ID and your password. And you're going to have a link to log on. And this is what your link is going to look like. So you're going to, right here in this circle, you're going to enter your member ID and your password. Your password is what you created when you enrolled. You either came up with it yourself or you gave it to the person who enrolled you. So once you enter that in, you just hit submit, and it's going to take you to your back office. This is what's going to come up. You are going to see, do you see those purple tabs at the top? Dashboard is the first, shop, team, business, message, and then my website. Well, it's going to automatically come up on your shop tab. So you're going to be able to see right here. Now, this was January. The current promotion. So this is what was 10% off in January, the DDR. And then you click that little 2 button. It's going to roll. But if you want to see it quicker, you can click it. It's going to show you what was, what would it show you next? The 10% off, and then if there was any promotions, right? And it was free Frank, right? It'll show you that. Here to the right, you've got the New Year, New You. It was a promotion we were doing. That's there. And they also have other tabs that you can click to go to different areas to learn more about their special offers or leadership retreats. Okay, so to the right here, under product list, you have scheduled LRP orders. Now, if you have not set up an LRP yet, that box will look just a little different. It's going to be in the same spot. It's going to say create an LRP. So you would click that. So let's say that you've already set up an LRP and you need to edit it. Your first month has already shipped and you're ready to start editing your cart. The first probably year that I did my LRP, I probably changed it every day. You know, and it's okay. But when you change it, click save. We're going to go through that too. So you see that little edit button? And it has your order number underneath it. You're going to click that edit button. And it's going to take you to this page. This is your cart. And you can see up here in the upper right, it says monthly LRP order processing date. So look up here. You have my cart, ship to. Make sure that information is correct. Bill to. Make sure that's correct. Payment, that's where you're going to enter in your debit or credit card information. That's what's going to be, your LRP is going to be charged to every single month, okay? And then you have a send confirmation to. Be sure that you put an email there that you check because you'll get a shipping notice, okay? They'll let you know, hey, we just shipped your package, so you can be looking out for it. And then your monthly LRP processing date. You can see that it's set there. You can go in and edit your date. Let's say you had originally set it towards the end of the month, but you know that you're going to be placing $125 a month or PV a month, and you want to go ahead and see if there's a date available before the 15th. You can go ahead and go in there and edit it. Or let's just say you don't want it to process so early in the month. You want to be closer towards the end. You can go in there and edit it. But remember this, anytime you make changes to your account, you have to press Save Changes. If you don't, that hour you spent exploring and shopping and adding is going to be gone. And it's very frustrating. So make sure that you always save changes. Okay, it's a little blurry and I'm sorry, but do you see, let's just go over here because I want to teach you how to read your cart. Okay, you see where it says product? That has your products. And then quantity, it tells you how many you have. This is so easy. This is where it gets complicated. PV, what is PV? Product value. Those are your points. That's what you're going to earn points on. You're not going to earn points on the subtotal, okay? So if you are trying to get that 200 PV promotion, if the subtotal is 200 and your PV is 189, guess what? You didn't get it. Okay, that's happened so many times to people. And customer service is usually really good. If you catch it quick enough, you can call them and they'll work it out for you. So this is your PV, all right? What you're earning points on, what you're qualifying for the product of the month or the promotions. Your frequency, some things can be shipped monthly. If it's a product of the month or a special, it will not be shipped monthly. So you'll see that on your back office. Price, and then use points. That's where you redeem your LRP points. You see the little drop-down box right here? Well, if this person has, this is not my card, this person has 320 LRP points. So basically they have $320 to use towards their purchase of oils and supplements. So if you have something that is going to be able to use towards, you know, your LRP points, you're going to have a drop-down box. So you would just select and you can choose 1 or 2 or how many ever, you know, that you want. And then of course you can remove the item. Once you start selecting your points, it's going to tally them for you. So make sure that if you only, let's say you have 150 points and you only want to redeem 100 because you don't want to pay $6 redemption fee, because it's $3 on every 100 PV that you have redeemed, okay? So if you do 101 PV, guess what? You're paying $6 in redemption fee. So just make sure that you are aware of that. All right, if you, this is before your ship date, and you've got these points and you're really, really excited about redeeming them, okay? And you go in there, you edit your cart, you select, you're using your points, you cannot save changes and process later. You have to process immediately. Whenever you redeem your LRP points, you have to process immediately. And it will tell you, it'll come up and say you have to process this order now. All right, so it'll step you through it. Okay, over here on the right, this is your order summary. You're going to click the option of shipping that you want. Then you have to click view totals. So it's going to give you a breakdown, and it's also going to show you your total. Let's say you paid $8.99 shipping. It's going to show a $9 credit that's going to be forwarded to your next month. Any questions? Easy enough? Okay. So doTERRA has product of the month and promotions like we talked about. So On Guard this month is 10% off, and you can see that the Wild Orange is free with 125 PV shipped on or before the 15th. I'm repeating myself because I'm trying to get it to sink in. It's going to be a long time to get it to sink in. Deep Blue, like I said, this month is our promotions. Where do you find this information at? On your back office, okay? If you have an upline that's really excited about their oils like me, you'll get an email if I enrolled you, and I'll let you know, hey guys, this is the product of the month. You know, this is the promotion this month. Facebook groups. If you are on Facebook or check your email, you will know what the product of the month and the promotions are. And also, there's a website called doTERRAeveryday.com, and I'm going to list those here in a minute so you'll have time to write them down. That information is back there as well. Any questions on the product of the month and the promotions?
doTERRA will send an email too. within the
Yes.
30 days of the month.
They will. And they'll send you, if it's a really good promotion that's going to be ended by the 15th, sometimes they'll send you a second email. So make sure doTERRA is not in your junk folder, and make sure I'm not either if I send you an email each month. Okay, so write these down if you have pen and paper, because I can't tell you how many times I tell people these websites. This is where you're going to learn beyond today. doTERRA.com. Y'all, that website, if you have not seen it yet, it is awesome. It tells you about the company. It tells you about Healing Hands. If you're familiar with that, doTERRA has a nonprofit organization where they are building schools and they're building wells, and it's just amazing what they are doing with Healing Hands. Yeah, come on up and take a picture. That'll be much easier. So you can find all that kind of information on doTERRA.com, doTERRAblog.com. Anything that we have made today and that we're going to raffle off most likely came from the doTERRAblog.com. They have DIY tab and a recipe tab. So if you want to cook with your oils, they'll teach you how to do it there. They also have an essential oil spotlight. So they'll spotlight an oil of the week or the month. This is a very important website, neweverythingessential.me. If you don't have a Modern Essentials book, this website is going to be the next best thing, because you can go in, you can plug in your ailment, or you can search an ailment or search an oil, and it will tell you suggested protocols. It will give you testimonials. It's a great place. And they also share the people who it's worked for. They'll share the recipes as well. All right, doTERRA Every Day. You will find everything about doTERRA. If there is an oil on back order, the events that are coming up, the promotions of the month, doTERRA's newsletter. If you didn't get it in your email, you can go back and get it there. If you are really into science and really smart that way, there is a great website for you. I don't go there much. It's aromaticscience.com. You will find the chemistry and just all that stuff. But it's really cool. I've got a girl on my team who is very, She wants to know about the science of it. So this is a great place for her, and she can teach me. This is where I go. Oles Mentor, all videos. I love it. I can just watch it and learn. So that's a great website. If you are a doTERRA member and you're on my downline, I have a page called Essentially Radiant. It's just for our members. And then we have one that's open for everyone called the Oly Life. These are Facebook groups. So these are the ones, if I were to say that you needed to be plugged in, because there's a lot, I would say start here and then enter it more at your own risk because it becomes very overwhelming. And so there's Essential Oil Enthusiast and then an Essential Oil a Day. Those are our Facebook groups. Guys, that's where you're going to learn the most. That's honestly how I learned my first year is I just read what people would ask. I would just read. And then, it just gave me ideas and it just, there's something about reading it on the computer and just, it just sinks in and it stayed with me. Question?
doTERRA also has a YouTube channel.
Yes. Is it doTERRA Corp? Okay, check. There's a doTERRA Corp. I think that's what it's called on YouTube. I do too. I love the doTERRA YouTube channel. So let me give you a little hint about Facebook. It is a great, great tool to use, okay? But if you are like me and you're a member of probably 20 different oil groups, you need to download the free Facebook group app because you could bypass all the news feed. And it's wonderful. It just comes up with all your groups, and you can have a little red dot with a number if you've missed a notification, and it just keeps things simple. So I highly recommend that. Facebook Groups app. Yes. Okay, so the YouTube channel is doTERRA CORP. And that's on YouTube. They have wonderful videos, especially if you're interested in how they're giving back to different, countries, and you can watch some of their videos, especially what they did in Haiti. It just blessed my heart so much to see that. Okay, so let's talk about educational opportunities within our team and within doTERRA. I have to tell you guys this. If you are on our team, you have really lucked up because we have an awesome team. Our upline, we have some girls who are passionate about educating you and empowering you. So if you want to learn more, there is always an opportunity to learn more. So our team, which means everyone, sidelines, uplines, downlines, we offer multiple classes each month. Typically, there's an intro class each month that I will usually teach if there's a need. There really hasn't been a need lately. But if there is, you let me know. I'm more than happy to come here and teach an intro class for the team. But our other upline, Lacey Grimm and Crystal Garvin, they kind of work it together, and they will do a Beyond Intro class each month, whether it be on blood pressure, hormone balance, pregnancy and childbirth, Candida cleanse. What's this month? I forgot what it's going to be. This month is the Candida cleanse? Okay. So there's going to be 2 classes a month. They're the same exact class. Usually one is in Greensboro here, and the other one is in Kernersville. But those are under the events tab in our Facebook groups. But you can always just ask, hey, on our Facebook groups, ask, hey, when's the next event? And I try to, when I send out my monthly emails, I try to put that on there, and I try to make sure that I put it also on our Facebook groups. So those are great. Now, doTERRA offers educational summits. You will love it. It was so much fun. I went last year. I'm so glad I went. I learned so much about the company. I learned about the integrity of the company, the integrity of every single ingredient. They go above and beyond to make sure that the carrageenan is not carcinogenic, that what you're taking is not going to, give you cancer. I learned so much there about the company and about the products, and I was just so excited to come home and use more and share more. And the next one is in Tennessee, May 30th and 31st. You can find the information for events on your back office or on the doTERRA every day. If you can make it, come to the convention in Utah. I did not go last year, but I'm going this year. It's in September, September 9th through the 12th. We have a huge group going. I bet we probably have 50 or more people just within our team going. So remember, check for events on doTERRAeveryday.com. Okay, so one other quick thing, another thing that you can learn is the aroma touch technique. I just did it. I love it. I love giving it. I love receiving it. You can go to aromatouchtechnique.com. You can check for dates and classes in your area. That's a great thing to do just to continue to be a wellness advocate for yourself and for your family. It's a great, great thing. Okay, so that wraps up the membership. I hope that you understand your membership a little bit better. Do you?
I have a question.
Sure.
With your LRP order, can you use LRP points monthly, or can you only use your points when purchasing as a one-time?
Okay, so if you use your LRP points, it's going to take down your PV. So let's say you're trying to spend 125 PV to get the free product of the month, but you redeem 75 points. Well, it's going to take your original PV back down because you can't double dip. Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, we were just sitting here trying to change and what I was.
Yeah.
LRP order while you were talking, and it kind of flashed up a box and just
Yes.
said that to use LRP, it will not count towards your monthly LRP.
Right, right. It will not. So if you, basically what it's saying, if you use those points, it's not going to count as PV for your monthly LRP. It's going to wash those points out, and it's not going to show that you can redeem it every month from here on out. But okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to have a couple people come up. Kim's going to come up first. She's going to teach you how to use the Modern Essentials book. Who did not bring one? Okay, I've got 4 that you can use. You might want to try to share if you can. Just please give them back to me.
Does everyone have the new one, or does anyone have the old one? Everyone has the new one? Okay, good. Same basic information, I'm sure. Do you want this?
Yeah. And yeah, so just watch your time. I went over, so you can go to 11:15 if you need to, and then we'll do the deal.
Okay. All right. Well, my name is Kim, and I have been using doTERRA oils for a little over a year. And Leela introduced me, and I love, love, love my oils. And I'm really sad that Felicia used more than I did this morning. Next time I come to one of these things, I am rolling everything I got on me. So I'm going to talk about the Modern Essentials book. If you don't have this book, I highly recommend that you purchase one of these books. I love my book. The new, everything new. What is that website right here? I'm gonna. Yes, that website is great. It's great when you're on the run that you've got that. You know, if you got your phone, you can look something up. But this, I'm a researcher. I love to research. I love to figure out how things work together. Oh my goodness, my face is really big. So, can I move back? Okay.
Yeah, you want me to minimize it so you don't have to see yourself?
Yeah, that'd be
Sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah, this is really fun. I've done a couple of them. Yeah.
Okay,
It's gonna
great.
be a
Now I
nice
don't have to see
video
myself.
for people to watch.
Okay, so this is a great book if you are interested to learn how things work together and to kind of figure out things on your own. This is great because you can study it and you can learn, oh, this oil is good for anti-inflammatory. I didn't know that. I've learned so much by reading this book. It's really, really good. If you don't want to do that, that's fine. You can just look up ailments in the back and you can figure out how to do stuff. So you can use this the way that you want to use this book. So I'm going to go over, as much as I would love to teach you everything in this book, because I was making my notes and stuff, I'm like, I'm not going to teach you the whole book. I'm going to teach you how to use your book, okay? So the first thing, when you first open up your book, you have an introduction. And a lot of times we skip over these things. We're like, oh, I don't need to read the first thing in the book. But this is a great reference. There's some quick definitions there. It talks about oils and water. So just a great quick little reference. What does neat mean? What is a carrier oil? Those are things that if you haven't used essential oils and people start talking about it, you don't necessarily know what they are. It also gives application types, and we'll go over that because that's in the book, the topical, aromatic, or internal. But just quick definitions are in there. So great reference right there. All right. So if you go over to page 6, you've got an introduction to essential oils. And this goes through what are essential oils? What benefits do they have? What is a therapeutic grade essential oil? It's got neat little pictures in it. It talks about, I think it's in this section, it talks about how essential oils go through your skin. And this little picture right here is wonderful. Why does your skin not absorb water but can absorb essential oils? Well, it's got a picture right here that shows you how small the little constituents of the essential oils are that can penetrate those dermal layers and get into your body. But water doesn't, so great visuals there. It talks all about that. This is I find it very interesting. Some people just skip over this. That's fine. But you use it how you want to use it. How they work, and the next page, it talks about how does it work with your brain? Why do essential oils affect the brain the way that they do? They can affect, did you know that like peppermint is good for focus and stuff? If your kids have tests and they're studying for tests, you have them like diffuse peppermint in the room while they're studying. And then when they go to school, put a little peppermint on, and it will help open up those memory banks to remember the things that they studied. That's amazing. Our bodies are absolutely amazing, and you can use these essential oils that way. But you can learn all this stuff in this book. A little geeky, sorry. And then it goes to how things are distilled. I don't really understand this, but that's how they're distilled. If you're really interested in that and you want to explain it to me, that's great. I will listen to you. But they can steam it, they can express it, so, and it makes a difference in how things work. The next part is the history, and this I find absolutely amazing because this just shows that essential oils are not a modern fad. They aren't. They go back thousands and thousands of years. They were the first medicines ever given to us. And so the history, it goes through how the Egyptians used it and how the Chinese used it, and then how it came into our modern day. And in the 90s, a lot of research was done on it and a lot of new, obviously in Egypt, they found that things work, but they didn't have the tools and stuff that we have today to find out why, so we have that today. So it goes into all of that in the history. I don't know that this will necessarily help you in applying essential oils, but I find it very, very interesting. And it goes to prove that it's not something that all of a sudden somebody came up and was like, ooh, here, put some tea tree oil on you. Got some Melaleuca. No, they've been using this. And I remember my grandmother and stories of my grandmother using natural remedies, and it always reminds me of that. And she used to use spider webs instead of stitches. She'd put it in, you're shaking your head, put it in like open gashes. My mom got hit by an axe and got spider webs and stuck in there to heal her, God has given us amazing things, use them. So I find it very, very interesting. Okay, this is where you're going to get into the meat of stuff. And this is on page 15. And this is an introduction to the body, okay? And how essential oils are going to interact with our body. It goes over the root administration, whether you're going to apply topically, internally, and how that affects how the oils are absorbed and what they do. In this section, there's an interesting study about, I might have that later in my notes, but I'm going to talk about it now. How sandalwood, it's not our sandalwood, it's like Indian sandalwood. They used this sandalwood and they applied it topically. And when they applied it topically to the people, and when they did this, of course, it was controlled. They had a mask on, so they couldn't inhale it. When they applied it topically, it had a very relaxing effect. But then when they had the people inhale it and it was aromatic, it had a stimulation effect. And so the application, the root administration really matters in how you're doing oils. So that was very interesting in that. So it's important to know how to apply. You've got a dermal application, which is applying to your skin. And when you do that, the other section, this all kind of relates together. The other section talks about how the oils can penetrate your skin and go in there. Well, when you apply, say you apply frankincense because you've got a burn or something like that, and you apply frankincense on there, it's going to treat the localized effect on your skin and help that area. But then it's also going to go into your skin And it's going to have a systematic effect because it's going to get in your bloodstream, and that frankincense is going to go around your body, and it's going to help your overall health. So when you apply dermally, you not only have a localized effect, you have a systematic effect on there. So this all talks about that and how that kind of works together. Again, I think it's really interesting. Again, great pictures, talks about how things, you know, when you ingest things, where it goes through, what it has to all, you know, go in your body when you, like, say you take a capsule of something, where it has to go to. So maybe you don't want to take a capsule of something because you want to have a better effect, so you want to try it sublingual because it's going to be absorbed more quickly that way. So knowing how to administer and what effects you're trying to have is important. And it goes on and talks about elimination, how, you know, the oils, just because how your body works, and it's going to go through your liver and stuff like that, and how things get out of your body and everything, that you may not want to take it internally because you don't want it to have to hit everything on its way down, that you want to apply it dermally. So, okay, this I did not know was in this book until I started looking at it. Look on page 20. And this is a big question that always comes up. And did you know this was in your book? There is a possible drug interaction chart in your book, and I see this on Facebook all the time. Can I take this when I'm taking this? Well, look, you've got this right here. This should be your first reference. One of the things about, you know, using this book is it empowers you to have the answers yourself, not to call your upline all the time, or not to have to go and, you know, search stuff out. Pull your book out and look at your book. You know, it's got it right here. It doesn't hurt to ask someone else, you know, their experience as well. But when I was looking through this and I was studying, I'm like, I never knew that was in that book. So it's very interesting. Yeah. Okay. Now, on page 24, it goes through the purity and the quality, and just the different tests that they use. Again, really scientific, mass spectrometer. You hear that on like CSI. They always talk about that. You know, and they send things through there. And okay, well, here is a nice little picture of how they do that. But they do that with oils, and they, you know, just discover what the constituents are and things like that. Very scientific. If you're interested, again, you can explain to me how that works. All right. Okay. Then on page 30, it goes about the constituents. And these are the things in the oils that make the oils work. And it talks about how oils are made up of lots and lots of different constituents. And it's important to know this. I would highly recommend that you look over this, even if you're not scientific. Look over this, because when you start looking at, and we're going to look at it in a minute, your individual oils, it talks about the different constituents. So if you know that, you know, this I found very interesting as I was studying too. Camphene on page 31 is found in many oils like citronella, which we don't have, ginger, and others. It's an insect repellent, but it's also used to reduce cholesterol in treatment of gallstones. So if you're looking in your oils here and you look for something that has the constituent of camphene, that's very high in camphene, you know you can treat gallstones with that. So it all kind of fits together. It's like a puzzle piece. So it's really great to look over this to kind of know what's what, so that you know when you're looking at your individual oils, what that means. And you always can go back to this as a reference. Oh, another thing I found in looking at this, and I found out citronella helps to increase the diameter of a blood vessel. So if you have someone who has high blood pressure and they use an oil that has like the citronella, the camphene in it, which would be basil, I think has that, it can increase the diameter of the blood vessel, which would lower your blood pressure. Very interesting. It all kind of fits together. Okay. So this is what we're all interested in. On page 42, oh, back up 1 minute. If you go to page 41, there's your key right there, and it talks about topical, aromatic, internal, cleansing, disinfecting, lifestyle. So on the next few pages, well, the rest of the book, when you see those little symbols, you know what they mean. So you have a key right there, okay? So when we go to the application, the first one they talk about is topical. And then they give you examples as to what does topical mean. Obviously, it means to apply it. But what are different ways you can do it? You can do it through massage. You can do it through a bath. You can do it through compression or compress. So there are lots of different ways that you can apply topically. It's not just rubbing an oil on you. There's different ways that you can apply those things topically. And there's a little section on page 42, and it talks about reflexology and then the articular therapy. Well, if you turn right over, it gives you the reflexology points. You've got your ear, you've got your hands, and then the next page is your feet. Okay? So if you're applying oils, we say we apply it to our feet, is one of the best places to apply it because you have large pores there. It's absorbed very, very quickly. If you have a stomach ache and you apply Digestin, you might want to go to the reflexology point and find out what point is associated with your stomach and massage that oil in there, because that's going to open up and unblock those passageways and get that oil to your stomach to help your stomach. Okay, if you have a headache, again, you can look on your ear, you can apply it to your ear. If you can't get to your feet, a lot of times, you're at work, you don't want to take your socks and shoes off and do that. You can apply it to your ears, you can apply it to your hands. So this is a great reference point. And if you have a smartphone, this is great to have, saved on your phone in case, you need something. But, again, this is not some new fad. I don't know if y'all have been to Four Seasons. There's a place there that will do reflexology on your feet. It's like on the 3rd floor, and it's I think it's Chinese medicine or something like that. But anyway, you go in and they'll do reflexology on your your feet, and there's a whole chart out there as to what your issues are and what they can do and what they can relieve. This is not something new. It's not like, ooh, we discovered something new. No, you didn't. This has been around for thousands of years. We're just now learning, hey, this stuff really works, okay? This is, a lot of times people will tell you to apply oils to your big toe. Well, if you're trying to affect your mood or your brain, it's because your big toe is where your brain is. And so you put, okay, that didn't really, sounded better in my head. Yeah. My son, every morning when I wake him up, I did the oil experiment on him, and so I take his #1 oil and I put it, and he hates it, I put it on his big toe and I kind of massage it in there, and I put it on the base of his skull and massage that in there to affect his brain and help his mood. And I tell you, it works. Yes.
Good question.
Uh-huh.
When you're putting oils on, is there do you do 1 drop? 3
We're
drops?
going to talk about that. Yep. Great question. We are going to talk about that. So here's your charts that you can use. And then there's a great autonomic nervous system, which talks about the different nervous systems that you have. Then when you go on, it talks about the art of blending. Oh, wait a minute. No. Let's look on page 48. This is the aromatic. And so it talks about how you can get those oils to your brain, breathing those things in. Diffusion is not the only way to do it. You can put the oils in your hands and you can smell it. What we do sometimes too is I'll put a cotton ball in a Ziploc baggie that has oil on it, and so we'll carry that around and smell that too. That's really good. I mean, think about if you have a stuffy nose, you can put some Breathe in there, some peppermint in there, and smell that. Even if you put like Breathe or peppermint right on your nose, you're inhaling those things too. But it talks about the olfactory system and why it works. If you guys don't have, and you may not be interested in it, but the Emotions book, which talks about the different oils and the different emotions that they affect, it is a wonderful book. But if you know how, if you think about you're inhaling something, it's really close to your brain. And you can, that's why like the peppermint, when you're studying, you can unlock those, memory banks and stuff like that. It's so close to your brain and all the stuff that it opens up, and you can affect your memories, you can affect your emotions and stuff like that. It's just amazing. You can use it as a perfume or a cologne. I'll put some stuff on my wrist sometimes and come by my office. I'm going, smell my wrist. All right.
It walks out of your office.
I know it does. I know it does. I have a diffuser necklace as well. And I was at my kids' school yesterday doing some volunteer stuff, and I was in one of the classrooms, and one of the kids asked me, and I was just joking with him, but he asked me, he's like, what is that? And I'm like, this is my diffuser necklace for when I have to deal with you. And I'm like smelling it, just try to calm me down. But those diffuser necklaces are wonderful because you can put your oils in there, and then when you need a little, uplift. You can kind of smell it. You might want to do that in private though. Okay, this is the art of blending. And I will admit to you that I don't understand a lot of this, but apparently there is an art to blending, okay? And it talks about the different, you've got a personifier, you've got an enhancer, you've got an equalizer, and you've got a modifier. And it'll tell you the different oils and what they are. If you look, and then it goes into the perfume stuff, and I don't know if you know anything about perfume, I don't. They've got top notes, middle notes, base notes. And I know one of the ones that really strikes me is bergamot, because bergamot, when I first smell it, it smells one way, but then a second later it smells different. Like at first it's got a citrusy smell, and then it's got like this, I don't know if this makes any sense, like a creamy smell. So like the smell changes. So it talks about how when you are blending things together, the order in which you blend them is important. If you're trying to affect things aromatically, okay? If you're going to apply them aromatically, the order in which you add them to your roller bottle is going to make a difference. Don't ask me about that. I don't know, but that's what the book says, okay? Okay, the next one is internal. And this is great too, because people are like, what can you take internally? Well, for the most part, most oils from doTERRA can be taken internally. And I didn't know this until I started looking at this book. I thought that each oil itself from doTERRA had to be looked at to see if it was food grade. It's not. If you look, there's a little chart at the bottom of page 52. It says common essential oils designated as generally regarded as safe. This isn't just doTERRA. This is all oils that the FDA has said we generally regard these as safe for internal use, okay? And then the next one is common essential oils designated as a food additive or food flavoring, okay? That is all oils, no matter what company you get it from or whatever. They're saying these essential oils generally are used for this purpose, okay? And it goes through like the different acts and stuff like that, which I find interesting, but you might not, of how it came. And these things go back to like the 30s, I think. Yeah, in 1938, when the FDA came into being, and then they had these. What was another one? Anyway, it's a long history of the FDA approving things and saying what is considered safe. If you look on the bottle, the side bottle of any doTERRA oil, now some of these things, why you would want to take them internally, I don't know. Okay, and I can't really see.
It's right under the bar tag.
Yes. This says for aromatic, topical, or dietary use. Okay, Melaleuca. I'm not going to drink a bottle of Melaleuca, but I may take a Flu Balm capsule and put that in there, and that's okay, right? And it is one that, if you look on this chart, should be in this chart as being generally regarded as safe. So then it goes into, on page 53, the different ways that you can take essential oils internally. The first is sublingual, which is just under your tongue. That is the quickest, fastest, most effective way to take an essential oil, because it does not have to go through your liver, down your body, all this stuff. It immediately gets in those capillaries, and it goes where it needs to go. You bypass your digestive system right there. Now, if you start swallowing it, that's when it's going to go to all that. But if you just do it sublingual, and Dr. Hill recommends putting frankincense under your tongue, and that's why, because it's going to get in there. You're not going to lose stuff through evaporation because it's under your tongue. Put your tongue down, close your mouth, let it do its work. It doesn't taste good, but it's effective. Do what?
It's like what you tell your kids, when you're giving them
Yeah.
medicine.
You just do it. Yeah. Yeah. And I have a guy who does frankincense under his tongue, 2 drops every day. His mom was diagnosed with Alzheimer's. Frankincense has been proven to cross the blood-brain barrier and can help with those things. So he does frankincense every day under his tongue. Doesn't taste good, but he does it because it works. Another thing that you can do is capsules. The little veggie caps, they come right apart, and you can put drops in there, close them up, and you can take them. That's my preferred way to take a Flu Balm, is make those up and take it that way. What else do I take internally that way? Oh, morphine balm for pain. I'll make that and put it in there. Slim and Sassy. Who drinks Slim and Sassy in their water? Oh my gosh, God bless you. I could not drink that stuff. That stuff is horrible. But I can put it in a capsule and take that way. I tried doing it in a shot glass one time. Oh my goodness, I thought I was gonna die. It was awful.
Yeah, the ginger and peppermint.
Mm-mm.
I have a friend who loves it for water.
Well, we have a guy at work that he used to drink it in his water all the time or put it in his tea. He will try anything. He's like Mikey. And I will get a new oil and he's like, "Ooh, let's see how that tastes." I'm like, "Ugh." Pops it in and tastes it. Like, oh. But yeah, like I got bergamot, and bergamot, they say you can cook with bergamot. I don't know why you would ever want to do that. I really don't. But he put it in his tea and said it was good. I'm like, I'll trust you on that one. In your beverages, lemon in your water, orange, wild orange in your water. Citrus Bliss is not on the thing. It says that it doesn't have internal use on the label. I use it internally, and it's because they don't source the vanilla themselves. They get it, so as many things as you apply to your body and you take internally, I think a little vanilla from some other place is really not going to hurt me. So I use Citrus Bliss internally as well in my shakes with trim shakes. The Terra Greens, they taste horrible, but if you add like some orange juice and some wild orange or some Citrus Bliss, they taste much, much better. You can use them cooking. Who cooks with your oils? Okay, if you're not cooking with your oils, you need to start cooking with your oils. But very, very lightly, okay? I made a pot of marinara sauce and added 2 drops of oregano. Megan's eyes got really big. Yeah, that's about how I felt when I tasted it. Oh, okay, you take a toothpick and you dip it in there and you kind of swirl it around. Then you taste it, and if you need more. If you make homemade chicken noodle soup, do that with oregano in your chicken noodle soup. It tastes amazing, and you're getting some benefits from it as well. So cooking is really good. The other 2, I really just don't want to discuss, but you can look at them yourselves and how you can apply those. So, all right. What I really like too is it has tips for essential lifestyle. So it talks about cooking, but it gives you some recipes that you can use as well. I haven't made the lemon bars, this recipe with lemon bars, but I have used the lemon in lemon bars and in lemon cake. And I made lemonade the other day and put with fresh lemons, but then I put lemon oil in it. Oh my goodness, it was amazing. Let's see, no, I haven't tried any. Oh, I do. Here's a little, and you taught me this one. Melt a bar of the baker's chocolate, put 5 drops of peppermint oil in it, and then drop it. You have York peppermint patties. It's great to use if you have classes and just, or you have a table somewhere and people pop it in their mouths. It's amazing. And you're getting benefits from it as well. Okay. It talks about sleeping, relaxing, and waking up, different things, different oils that you can use or supplements that you can use for that. Who uses oils to help you sleep? Okay, what's your favorite oil or blend to help you sleep? Lavender. Okay, what else? Serenity.
I see them with liquid Xanax.
Yeah.
That's Serenity and
balance.
yeah. That you use that to help you sleep?
Not sleep, liquid sleep. I have
The liquid Ambien. That's lavender and vetiver.
Velveter, arborvitae,
Vetiver what?
velveter,
Uh-huh.
arborvitae.
Oh, Arbavite.
Okay. I don't have that one. That's a good sleep one?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm asking for myself because I'm always looking for something new.
Added that and ylang ylang and some lavender and frankincense. Blended them all together.
It knocks you out.
Well, I went from 4 to 6 hours. in
Oh,
the
that's
morning.
good. That's good. I did a class a couple weeks ago, and a lady bought a sleep blend from me, and she started using it. It was really cool because she had a Fitbit, and so she tracked her sleep, and she actually posted so I could see and like what her sleep was before, and then after she started using it. It was amazing. I'm like, oh, that's scientific. That I love data. That yes, you can see that it works. That's great. I just started using vetiver and just vetiver with a carrier oil, and I put that on my big toe at night, and that really works. Someone had suggested that. I'm always trying new sleep blends, but that works for me. Someone said Serenity, like my daughter, I can't put Serenity on her. It makes her have night terrors. So, you might have to try different things to see what works for you. Okay. And then energizing, I'm going to try this. I'm going to try putting, I used to make a face scrub before I started using the Virage system with peppermint and citrus bliss, and so it just kind of woke me up. I'm going to try putting in my body wash that I already have some peppermint and citrus bliss in that and shake it up. Like, oh, because you can also add, for hair loss, like rosemary and clary sage. Yeah, there was another one. Anyway, you can put that in your shampoo that you already use and shake it up, you know, and use that in your hair. So anyway.
If you look on the rosemary, it'll tell you if you have high blood pressure, not to use it. If you're pregnant, not to use it. So be very careful.
And you know what? There are things in this book we're going to go through that you can check that too. And when you go over when we look at your individual oils, it'll tell you, don't use it in pregnancy and things like that. And there's a chart in the back about that. Different shower and bath tips to make shower gel, bath oil, bath salts, put stuff on your washcloth, put it in the bottom of your shower, and the steam kind of help open your head up. Personal care and well-being, soothing your muscles, memory and concentration. I think that might be where I read about the studying. Oral care. The toothpaste, I highly, highly recommend the toothpaste. It's wonderful. If you don't use the toothpaste, you can put a drop of On Guard on your toothbrush as you brush your teeth, and that will help as well. But I love the toothpaste. My teeth feel so good. My gums just feel wonderful. Then you can also use it for cleaning, which I do that as well. It makes my house smell a lot better. I've got, with my kids and my dogs, I love being able to do something to clean and not have to worry about chemicals, especially, it talks about this, insect and bug repellent on other daily household tips. We had an ant problem last year, and I got a spray bottle and put some lemongrass and some peppermint in it and sprayed our doors. And where the door is where the dog's food is. I didn't have to worry about the dog getting sick, with that. So, and it took care of our ants as well. Okay, the next part is the single essential oils guide. And on page 64, there's another chart, and the things added to this are to avoid sunlight after 12 hours, up to 12 hours and if it's one sun, and then up to 72 hours if it's two suns. And then it goes through whether you can do it neat, which means just apply it directly, whether you need to dilute it for children or those with sensitive skins, or whether you have to dilute it. Otherwise, it's going to, hurt anyone.
I want to
Yep.
say something right here. You need to be very, very careful with summer coming. Any citrus oils that you use on any exposed skin to the sun, it will burn the skin. I did that to my daughter in September, and she still has markings on her neck. I didn't know bergamot. We use it for focus, ADHD. It's a citrus oil. I did not even know it. And but it did. She had two purple. You could see exactly where I put it, and there's still a faint reminder. If the oil is a hot oil, like oregano, oregano we use to remove warts and things like that. A lady put a drop on her face and put a Band-Aid on, and now she has almost like a permanent square. It will eventually fade, but it will take months. So just please, if you're going to apply a very strong oil topically, go to this book and make sure that you're doing it correctly.
Okay, I'm going to speed through this because this is stuff that you need to study on your own. But when you look at your single oils, it's got the botanical family that it's in, which is important because like I was making a cough thing one time and it called for juniper berry. Well, I didn't have juniper berry. Well, I looked up juniper berry, and guess what? Juniper berry is in the cypress family. So I had cypress, so I used cypress instead. So you can get some really good information from that. How it's extracted, and I guess that matters. I don't know. You can go read that other section and let me know. Common uses, and there's a guide in the back that talks about the different uses. And then the common application method. Like for this one, it is dilute and apply to reflex points or area of concern or diffuse in the air. So it's got the little symbols. This is not one that is would be taken internally. I mean, I guess you could, but the little symbols tell you this is how it's commonly used.
And doTERRA did say, they have to mark some, do not take eternally, because if you take,
Too
a
much of it,
large
yeah.
quantity, it can be, toxic. But I think it was like 30
Like-
gallons of a certain, it was
Yeah, it was like
crazy.
wintergreen, And like Deep Blue, they have those child safety caps on there. But in order for that wintergreen to be toxic to you, you'd have to drink like 3 or 4 bottles of it. And if you could stand 1 drop in your mouth, then I think you're doing good.
And they'll say on the bottle, it'll say supplement if it's for internal use. It will not say supplement if it doesn't. So for example, this Grounding Blend Balance does not have supplement after the name. So
Okay.
you would not take it internally. But like Melaleuca or peppermint will
Right.
say supplement under it. So you'll know you can take that.
Okay. And then down below, it talks about the chemical constituents. And so you can refer back to the other part of the book to kind of see what those constituents do. Some historical uses, different properties, other possible uses, the body systems affected, and we're going to look at body systems in just a minute. The aromatic influences, because remember we talked about aromatically, you get a different effect than you would if you applied topically. Sometimes. Oh, this says oral use as a dietary supplement, none. Okay, so you wouldn't use that as a dietary supplement. But your single oils, it's all in green. And so, if just to find out what an oil is, what it does. And then at the bottom, it says, like, blends well with, this one is birch, cedarwood, cassia, and eucalyptus. So you could blend those well. They would smell good together. I guess they have, like, good properties that would work together for those things. And then your next section is your oil blends. And you probably need to download a chart that has what the different names are, because now you've got Calming Blend, which is Serenity, and you've got Invigorating Blend, which is Citrus Bliss. So I don't know what all those.
It's in the files.
It's in the files. Download that, stick it in your book, and then you'll know what they are. Okay, the next, and the oil blends, it tells you like the common uses and the application, but then it lists the individual oils that are in that blend. So you can go back to your individual oil list and kind of see what those things are for. And I like it because I'm kind of nerdy and I like to see how things work together and why things, this is this because it's anti-inflammatory and this is this, and so they work together because of this. And, it's going to enhance those properties. Okay, the next section, page 170, it's in purple, and these are your supplements that they have, okay? And so in that, it's going to tell you just the different ingredients that are in there, suggested uses, all interesting stuff. Page 190, this, before you start looking at your usage and stuff like that, this is a great thing to look at because it tells you how to read the different colors in your book. So red is going to be your primary recommendations, yellow is your secondary, and your green is your other. So it tells you what it means and how to read those charts, okay? All right, page 192 and 193. Again, you've got a key, very easy to use. This is where your dilution rates are on page 193. And if you look on page 192, it shows you like the dark is your essential oil and your white is your carrier oil. So that's your ratio that you would dilute to if you look over on your recommended dilution chart. So did you know that was in your book? It's a great thing to know that that's in your book. So if you need to dilute something, it's in there. All right. So then the next section in red, this is where you're going to look up what your ailment is. Migraines, headaches, and it may send you, like you may look up migraines and it may send you to headache and things like that. But this is a great place. They do have some recipes in there for that. If you look on the neweverythingessentials.me, some of the things may not be exactly the same. This is where you kind of look at and you kind of have to know what the oils do and what would work best for you. What may work best for Leela for a headache is not necessarily going to work best for me. Okay, her root cause of her headache may be sinuses, and mine may be my gallbladder. So it's not going to work the same. So, and we're going to look at root causes, but this is a great starting place. Okay. All right. Now, page 318. This is what I find really, really interesting. And if you haven't used this in your book before, I highly recommend it. You have a body systems chart. You have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. You have 9 body systems, okay? So this is what oils typically work best to treat those body systems. So say you have eczema and you think it's a skin disorder, it may not be. The root cause of that may be a GI something. You may have a candida, overgrowth that needs to be cleansed out. You look at your body system and you look up digestive system. If you start treating the root cause and not just the eczema, you could take care of that issue of eczema. My son gets this, which I think it is a candida overgrowth. When he plays football and lacrosse, he's got that strap and he breaks out. Well, it's a staph caused by, because it's not breathable, material on there, but it goes back to his gut because he's got a candida yeast overgrowth in there and it's coming out on his face. So I'm treating his face because I want to clear that up, but I've also got to treat his gut if I want to take care of it completely. So I've got to look at the digestive as well. Okay, so this is a great chart to have and to go back to when you're looking at, your immune system, emotional balance, what oils are going to work best typically to treat those, okay? And then on page 321, this is another one that is wonderful. This tells you the essential oils property. Now, 1 cross means that it's got a good property. 2 is good. 3 is I think 3 is the highest. Okay? No, 4 is the highest. Melaleuca scores a 4 on antifungal. So if I know I have a fungus and I look on here and I look on antifungal, well, I can see Melaleuca is the highest, oregano, rosemary, and thyme. Those are my high ones to treat antifungal. Okay? My husband had surgery. Before he had surgery, he was taking an anti-inflammatory, which just really messed him up. So he got off that, and we started using oils to treat topically the spot that was inflamed. So I look down here, because I'm like, oh, frankincense. Yeah, let's do frankincense. But if I look at anti-inflammatory, guess what? Basil is the same level as frankincense on anti-inflammatory and a lot more affordable. So who knew? But because I was able to look at my chart, I'm like, oh, I've got basil, I've got bergamot, frankincense, myrrh, I didn't have myrrh, Roman chamomile, and rosemary, and wintergreen. Those are all the same rate anti-inflammatory as frankincense and a lot cheaper, or you may not have one, but you may have another. So this is a wonderful, wonderful chart to use. And since I discovered this, I use this all the time. It's really good. Okay, the next one breaks down the categories, the different classes that your oils are in, trees and shrubs and all that, and gives your scientific names, which I find is interesting, but you may not. Okay, then the very last thing in the back of your book is a quick chart. You don't have time to read your book, you can pull this out, and it's got, for a child, what can I use quickly to treat topically, aromatically, internally, and what can be applied neat, what do I need to dilute, what are common uses for that. It's got single oils, it's got oil blends and things like that. So this is a great, just quick reference guide. This book is well worth the money that you pay for it. When we do group orders, usually it's about $18, $19. You can go on Amazon. My husband got me one for Christmas on Amazon, and I think it was like $24, $25, but I got this book. I've got it in my purse. It's a little pocket one, and it also had a laminated card that I keep in my first aid kit that I can pull out for $25. But this is a wonderful book. So if you don't have one, I highly recommend, and I don't get any royalties off this, but I highly recommend that you get one of these because I find it very interesting to read, but it's also very useful if you're going to be using oils, if you're going to be teaching oils, you definitely need a book like this. Any questions about the book? Okay.
Thank you, Kim. Okay, so we are going to be doing a book order very, very soon. If you're interested, I'm going to have you write your name down at the end of the class, and I can make sure that you know when the next book order is. There is also a Modern Essentials app for your phone. It does not go into detail like the book, but it's a quick reference. It's $6.99. So I wanted to let you know about that. I want to introduce our next speaker, Felicia Edmondson. She's almost family. She is one of our DIY queens. So she's going to come and share some of the things that she has made.
Leila says I'm almost family because we share a sister-in-law. She is my sister-in-law's sister-in-law, so that's how we're family. I've been in for about a year, That's right. I forget that I have to be stand in between the lines. I've been with doTERRA for about a year, and my sister-in-law introduced me. And what interested me in the oils was, of course, just they're so versatile. You can use them for everything. My husband and I try to live a very healthy, whole lifestyle with real foods. That we're very conscientious about what we put in our body, and so in doing that, we've really thought about what we put on our bodies too. And so that's what kind of got me interested in the oils. But I'm a product junkie, so I like to buy stuff, and the prettier the bottle it comes in, the better it is. So if I'm walking down an aisle and I see it and it's bright colored, I'm like, oh, my husband says, commercials are for you. You are sucked into all of that. So I'm used to, I was used to buy my cleaning products, just going to big companies for those things instead of me making them. And I was very intimidated by the making process, so to speak, the DIY process. And it was my daughter that got me interested in that. She asked to make some lip balm. Even before we were introduced to essential oils, she said, Mommy, can we make lip balm? And she says, we have everything except for essential oils. So once we got the oils, I had no excuse. I said, okay, well, let's do it. But I was very intimidated by that. But lip balm was the very first thing that we made. And it was my daughter's idea. And after we made lip balm, I was bitten by the bug. And so now we make everything. We were going to start making our own toothpaste, but doTERRA's toothpaste is so wonderful, so I let them make that for us. So we use that. And facial products. I used to make my own, but I love the Barrage. So those are probably two of the things that I don't make. But we have tons of roller bottles, so I'm always doing blends for the kids. They each have 3 or 4 in their rooms. I've got 4 daughters, so each one of them has about 4 or 5 of their own roller bottles that they go to. So those things we make. We make all of our cleaning supplies. And everything that I'm telling you today, I've shared some recipes with Leela, so she has those. And you can just go online and say DIY, furniture polish, and you'll find a ton of blogs. You just pick what you like. doTERRA's blog is wonderful. That's my first go-to. But usually what I do is I will just, whatever I want to make, I'll DIY it, and it'll come up. And then I always like to tweak stuff. So for time's sake, I will not pass everything around, but it's up here, so feel free to come up later and smell and look. These are new containers. The only thing that you can't try is the deodorant. That's my daughter's. She hasn't used it yet. It's a new bottle. I just made a fresh batch. So, but you can open it up and smell it and look at it. Lip balm. I mean, just take a little bit, and just put it on your finger and rub it, and just take it, put it on your lips. Feel free to try. We put a lot of care and love in everything that we make, and we love it. But this is the lip balm, and this is basically the Burt's Bees recipe. There's like a little sheet that you can go online and type in Burt's Bees, and so that's how we came up with it. I don't follow recipes exactly. I cook that way. I'm not a baker. I like to cook. I don't like to measure. So I just, if it tastes good, if it smells like it should go in that dish, then I put it in there. And I'm the same way with my products. I'll start with the bare bones, but then I like to tweak it and kind of make it my own. So the lip balm started out with the Burt's Bees recipe, but it has vitamin E, it has beeswax, it's got shea butter, sunflower oil, and then peppermint and wild orange or grapefruit. I made 2 different batches this time. Love the grapefruit. It smells wonderful. So
I'm going
please
to list all the recipes in a file.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So we have that. And I used to be with another company before I joined doTERRA, and we were in the spa business. And so I would go to people's houses or their work or a school and pamper people all day. And one of the first things that I did once I left that business was I recreated everything that I would use in my spa bag with natural products that had 5 or 4 ingredients or less. So when I pamper people, I can tell them there's nothing in here that you can't pronounce, and it's all made with essential oils and natural products, so you know what's going on in your body. In fact, when I made the sugar scrub that I'll tell you about last night, my daughter was eating it as we were making it. So, and so I have some bare bones that I usually keep at home. Like I keep vitamin E. I always keep a supply of shea butter, Castile soap. Those are the type of things that I know are going to go into a lot of products that I make. sunflower oil, borax, because you're going to clean, you're going to make some of your cleaning supplies and laundry detergents and stuff. One of the only things that I have not made yet is bar soap. I am very intimidated by making soap because you have to cure it and do all that other stuff. So there's a lady that I still buy my soap from, but that is my last thing. I think that once I get to the soap, then I can say, okay, I make everything in my house. So, and let me tell you a little bit about the oils that I use. Melaleuca, put that in a lot because it is antifungal, it's antiviral. I mean, it's just got so many great properties. So I use a lot of Melaleuca in my cleaning and DIY products. Peppermint, it's just a nice, cool, tingly, feel to it. This goes into lip balms and my hand soap. On Guard, love On Guard. You're getting the protective properties when you make things with the On Guard. So, the boost, I guess, to your immune system it's great. I put this in mouthwash. I put it in hand soap. Love that. Lavender. I just love the way lavender smells, and it's just good for your skin. So I put this in a lot of cleaning and just DIY products. Grapefruit. I like the way this smells. I don't know how many of you have grapefruit. I could just sit here and get high off of this. It is the best. I'm going back and forth, like, what should I put? When I was thinking about putting this in my lip balm this time, I said, what should I do? Because I love wild orange too, but the grapefruit is just really good. And Burt's Bees has a grapefruit. So I said, okay, I'm going to do grapefruit this time. Love wild orange. I have not, this was the product of the month. So this is the first wild orange bottle that I've had, which is funny for a year, but I'm sitting here smelling it like y'all can smell with me, but I'm smelling it for you. It smells really good. Ginger is great. I put ginger in my scrubs too. And then frankincense and myrrh. I was one of the people that would hoard frankincense because it's expensive and it's pricey and it's my baby Jesus oil and I love it. But I would use it for just like emergencies. And now I am like less than half a bottle, and this is maybe the third or fourth bottle I've had since I've been with doTERRA. Yes, I love frankincense. I always get this with my points. I never pay for frankincense. So the more expensive oils, use your points to get those oils. But I put this in everything. And the great thing about frankincense is it enhances the other oils. So if you want your lavender or your Melaleuca to work better, put a drop or two of frankincense with your, with your Flu Balm or with product that you make with that. So I put this in almost everything except for lip balm.
Quick note about frankincense. You can blend frankincense with every single oil.
Yes. That's right, you sure can. I love it. So this is probably the easiest thing that I make, and this is the sugar scrub. Actually, Leila's going to raffle off. Don't you have one? Not sugar scrub, but lavender bath salt. Sorry, and we're going to raffle this one off too. So it's not as pretty as the bottle that she made, but very easy. I get the bath salts from Costco. Love Costco. If Costco had oils, I would never leave. I would just sleep in a hammock. They could lock me in. I'm like, I have everything that I need there. Yes, you're right. doTERRA, Costco. It's like my paycheck just goes back to both. So, but I get my lavender salts from Costco. Epsom salt, and then lavender flowers. You get
Savory Spice Shop at Friendly.
yes, Savory Spice Shop at Friendly, but there's a place called Lion and the Lamb, SNL, or Samson and the Lamb, or whatever, in Ashboro. Sam, thank you. I am new to that, and one of the ladies that works there is really great. She and I just became BFFs from the very beginning. They're very helpful and sweet there, and that's where I get my lavender flowers. But you can, and they're organic, so that's great. And then I put about 10 drops of lavender in this, 8 to 10 drops. Shake it up and put it in your bath.
Makes great gifts.
It makes great gifts. And I do my classes a little differently. I kind of pamper people when I talk about oils because that's what I was used to with my former business, and I love that part of it. And it's a great way for people to try the oils and the products that you can make with the oils. Do you have a question? Costco?
No.
Oh, I'm like, Costco? Savory Spice Shop and S&L Whole Foods, I think, or okay, yeah. So that's where we get the lavender flowers, and they have all kinds of other things too. Yes.
Have you ever used Purify in any of your?
Yeah.
Can I just tell you, do not like the smell of Purify. I don't like it. I'm trying to get used to it because I didn't really like frankincense as much, and now I love it. And I read once that if you don't like the smell of an oil, you need it.
Yes.
But I use it in my laundry. I don't put it in any products, but I use it in the laundry. And with the Purify in the laundry, it makes, even though I don't like the smell of it, it makes my clothes smell really good.
Purify and borax smell amazing.
Yes, yes. So that is the way that I use
Purify
it.
and borax.
You use it in your laundry?
I use it as a laundry booster. I use it as my tub and shower and toilet cleaner. I love it. Just a whole box. You can put it in your own little container. I do halfway, 10 drops of Purify, halfway up again with the rest of the box of borax, 10 drops, shake. And I love it. I mean, it will take
Yeah.
the soap scum right off, and it
Yes.
smells so good.
Yes,
Love
it is great. And if you have a front load, you can take a few drops of the Purify and just put it on the liquid side, I think, and then it'll go through with the wash as well. And it keeps your dryers and your washer clean. So that's great. So hand soap. I've been making this since the beginning. Love it. I bought these beautiful little glass containers. You have to make sure that they're foaming containers if you're going to make the foaming hand soap. And this is the Castile soap. Usually I follow the directions for whatever the bottle calls for, but it has like a little kind of line right here that I fill it up to with Castile soap, and then just regular tap water, you know, and my essential oils, and I'll put a little bit of just a nice softener. So it can be either vitamin E or the fractionated coconut oil or some other moisturizer. I'll put a few drops or a couple of teaspoons in it for this, and my kids love it. They make it. I've gotten my daughters involved in the making process. So this is wonderful. And you can just take a little bit on your hand when you come up here. Deodorant, I have a little business, so I can't tell you how many deodorant sticks I've sold. In fact, I've dropped some off to a friend of mine, and people will pay what I could charge $10 for this.
Yeah.
And I do. I'm not kidding. I charge about $9 for this.
Because it's expensive.
It's expensive, and they fly out just like that. You can put this on and run 10 miles, go to bed, wake up the next morning, and you will not stink.
Promise.
I promise you. I promise you. I have folks calling me and running to me. I want to buy two or three at a time of these. So I just made this as a new batch. What I've started adding, the regular recipe for this is, your base, I guess, is your coconut oil, your arrowroot, which you can get at Whole Foods, or you can buy it online in bulk, and your baking soda. So, I mean, you can really just kind of start with that and have a good deodorant and add your essential oils. But I was taken in by bentonite clay. I did some studying about that, and I buy Redmond's version. I like Dr. Axe. He's a great person to follow on Facebook. Love him, and he answers you when you ask questions or respond. And he uses doTERRA. That's why I love him too. He's a smart man.
He's cute.
And he's cute. Yes. So he uses doTERRA, and he has a lot of oil recipes as well. But he uses bentonite clay, and so I saw the wonderful properties of that, and that's why it's gray. So don't be afraid of it. Yeah, it's gray because of the bentonite clay. I'd make this either way. There's some people who are sensitive to it or not, but I love the clay, and you can leave it out and it doesn't get soft and wet because of the coconut oil. So I love this recipe.
Has there been anything that you found that helps with the antiperspirant?
Actually, I will tell you, bentonite clay helps because it absorbs the moisture. Yes, and my husband is one that would sweat a lot, but he does really well with this. One of my builders is from Trinidad and Tobago, and her son. This is my testimony. That's why I love making things for people. Her son is 8 years old, and she said he has an odor of his own. I mean, it has his own name on it. It's like his own odor. But he would put on commercial deodorant, and if any of it rubbed off, or by the time he got home from school, he was ripe. And she just felt bad. She just really felt bad for him. So I told her about my deodorant, and she used it. He took a shower, he put it on, he went to school, he came home, he went to bed, he woke up the next morning and did not smell. And she said, listen, you could label these things and market them in Trinidad and Tobago, and you would become rich. you know, but because they have their own smell on the islands, man. We have our own smell. So I absolutely love this. And I have a few people that are my guinea pigs that I give these to or sell them to at a fraction of a discount. And that's kind of how I, you know what works and what doesn't. That's how I do my formula. Yes. You can order it online. We order a lot of things in bulk from Amazon, so you can do that. Sugar scrub. I love this. My uncle started buying this for me. Leela and I did a work spa at his work in Raleigh, and we pampered everybody. And one of the things I made was a sugar scrub, and this is made with turbinado sugar. It's the sugar in the raw that you can buy at Costco. Brown sugar, and I've got sunflower oil in this because it's really high in vitamin E, which is great. And then ginger and lime essential oils. Yeah. And it's like it's just equal parts. Like, you know, half the recipe is a half a cup of both of the sugars each, and then as many. And I always tend to go heavy on my drops of oil. So if the recipe calls for 30 drops, I will do twice that for us, you know, for what, because I like it to be strong. But this sugar scrub, my uncle buys it by the tub, and it helps with his razor bumps. He uses it in the shower. So, but it's a great exfoliator. It's natural. It's 5 products, and this is what my daughter was eating last night when we were making this. So this one's going to be raffled off, and like this size would be $25. And people pay for it. You know what's funny is when I go into my pricing, I would look at like what Jason's and some of your Burt's Bees and some of your other, you know, natural organic people were selling theirs for, and I'm like, you know what, I can do mine. I can sell it for that. Plus, you want to count in, you know, all of the products, your drops of oil. There's a great website that breaks down the drops of oil and how much the cost per drop would be, and that, you know, I take into consideration.
Is that 8 ounce?
Pardon me?
Is that about 8 ounces?
No, this is 12. This is 12. And I usually try to do things in about, it's probably a little more than that because I fill it to the top, but it's 12 ounces. And then this is my body butter, and it's a whipped body butter.
It's awesome.
It is, I love it. This one is a little harder, and I've got a little spatula that you can use when you want to, if you want to come up and try this. But this, I'll let Leela.
Can we take it around? Let me try it.
You can just take it and scrape some. That's a little harder than what I originally made. The first batch that I made originally was a little softer. I like it a little harder. It really could be a little stick, you know, that you'd rub on. And that has shea butter, kokum butter. I used cocoa butter in my last one, and I had a few people that didn't really like that. Yeah, it felt like you were putting, or smelled like you were rubbing chocolate on you every time I put it on, which I like to smell chocolate, so it didn't bother me. But I used kokum butter last night when I made that, and it's a little harder, and it doesn't have that chocolate, that overwhelming chocolate smell. But frankincense and myrrh is what I put in that, because frankincense is fantastic for your skin. It's great for blemishes. It's great for stretch marks. Myrrh is great for skin elasticity. So that's my frankincense and myrrh soap or lotion. And I love it. I put it on, and then I just find myself touching myself. My husband's like, "Why are you touching yourself?" And I'm like, "Because I'm so soft." That you know, I mean, I will sit there, and then he'll touch me, and he'll say, "Oh my gosh, you really are soft. You are so soft." So I just love that, and it has about 4 ingredients in it, and there's nothing that you can't pronounce. You know that your skin is your largest organ, so whatever you're putting on it is going to go inside anyway. But I just love the way that feels. So I think that's it for what I had today. Yeah. It has frankincense and myrrh. And I've got about 60 drops. I put 30 drops of frankincense and 30 drops of myrrh in there. So that frankincense and myrrh, and then it's got a little bit of cocoa butter. Yeah, I was a little lighter on the cocoa butter with that one. So it's got a little bit of cocoa butter in it. It's got a little bit of kokum butter, which is really good. Yes, Nana.
see, the cocoa butter, and you said the cocoa,
Kokum, Kokom or Kum? Kokum. Kokum butter, one of the websites that I like to go to, it's called Mountain Rose Herbs. Yes. And they have their own oils, but I like their recipes, and I get my butters from them, or I will look there first, and then I'll compare at Amazon. But I read about Kokum butter, and Kokum is a little harder than cocoa butter. It hardly has any odor to it at all, and it has a lot of good properties to it too. So I do a lot of research, and one thing about it is when you're making your own products, you can kind of just tweak them and make them your own. And any recipes that you want to find, gosh, you can get them anywhere. In our doTERRA Living magazines, they always have recipes for just anything from food to do-it-yourself, products. Where else? Our doTERRA blog. You can always Google whatever you want to make, and a ton of blogs will come up for that. Pinterest is great. And then, if you just want to mix and match and play around, you can do that as well. That's what I've done. None of my recipes follow the recipes that you would find online. So you can kind of just mix and match, and I'm not the scientific person, so I'm not going to look in the book and say, okay, these oils are distilled this way and that way, but I will research, this butter is good for you here, or this oil is great for this, and I will mix and match and do that when I'm making my products. So that's pretty much it. That's what I made to share with you today. Feel free to come up here and kind of, smell and look. And if you have any questions, let me know later. Emily's going to come up and she's going to share about her DIY products that she likes to make.
And we're almost done. We're ready to wrap up. Watch out for the cards. I think watch out for the boards, please.
Okay. So my name is Emily Poe, and I've been using essential oils for a little over a year as well. But what brought me to doTERRA was my daughter. When she was 1.5, she was on 5 over-the-counter or prescription medications on a healthy day. She has, allergies, eczema, one blank now. She had stomach issues. So she was on a combination of, and asthma. So she was on a combination of different things. So within a few months, we've gotten her off of everything. So she's 2.5 now, medication free, doesn't take anything, just does essential oils. But one thing that I really got into the DIY stuff with is actually my daughter was really prone to diaper rash. And she would get chronic diaper rashes from every antibiotic. She would get a yeast infection, and then she'd get sent home from daycare, and I was getting constant phone calls because her butt was always torn up, essentially. And with the eczema, she was really just sensitive to it. So I really started looking into it and realizing that even a lot of sensitive baby wipes still have a level of alcohol in them. So I just started getting on Pinterest, because Pinterest is your friend. And I've been making my own diaper wipes, and she has not had a diaper rash since we've started making her own diaper wipes in well over a year now. And I've found it's so much cheaper, and I am not super into the do-it-yourself stuff if it takes a lot of time. I just don't have a lot of time working full-time, and then obviously chasing child around when I'm home. But for us, it literally takes me 5 minutes, and all I use is a half roll of paper towels and 2 cups of boiling water, 2 tablespoons of coconut oil, the fractionated coconut oil, and then 3 drops of Melaleuca and 3 drops of lavender. And those wipes will last us a month. And her daycare even allows me to make her wipes. And I just put it in a Tupperware container, and they just use that for her. And you just pull it out of the middle. Like, you just take the little, the tube out. And that's where we started with her products. We since then have made, we make her diaper rash cream. We make hand sanitizer. Like, her diaper bag basically is just completely done over. And there's even several pins about how to do your diaper bag over with. But her skin's just so sensitive, she can't use a lot of the products you would get in the store. So we've replaced, the butt paste and what else? I was talking to my husband, asking him some of the things we've made. We've made her own eczema blend of cream. A lot of times we just even use an over-the-counter lotion and just there's different recipes for eczema. For her, we use lavender and cedarwood. and we just apply it when she shows an irritation with a roller bottle at this point. But sometimes I just mix it in some lotion and it's gone within half hour to an hour, or if it's overnight, it'll soak in. So I guess I want to encourage you all that if you have young children, that the products are safe. She loves them. She's 2.5 now, has her own roller bottles. She sits down, I roll them on her back and then pass them to her, and she rolls them on her feet.
And tells
And-
the teachers it.
Oh, that was so funny. That's true. So with her stomach issues, we use digestion on her stomach and her feet. And when she was a baby, I would just put it before I put her footy jammas on, or in the morning, she just put her socks on right afterwards so she doesn't touch it. But she's funny because she's very verbal. And so her preschool teacher just last week said, man, you've got her trained. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And Charlotte was getting her diaper changed to preschool. And she said, my tummy hurts. And her teacher's like, well, what's wrong? She goes, I need my oils on my tummy. They make my tummy feel better. And it's so funny because I was like, without a doubt, within like, if I put oils on her tummy, whatever's gone, it's gone within 5 or 10 minutes. If she's a little constipated, she'll go. I mean, it's been a lifesaver because, I mean, she was on Miralax every day. And I was really concerned by 1.5 that my 1.5-year-old was on Miralax on a daily basis. I was like, this is not a lifestyle that I want to continue for her for the long term, and she's not been on that, and she has a lot of food sensitivities also and food allergies. So I just didn't want to keep adding all this stuff in there, but she is healthy and wide open and just such a happy spirit. But she'll tell you about her oils, and it's just really neat. Like even in the diffuser at night, her favorite. I laugh. It really is true about the chemistry of oils, of which oils, because I could put lavender on her, but if I diffuse lavender, it kind of hypes her up. But if I put it on topically, it calms her down. And then her sleep oil is actually wild orange. That helps her sleep. And I just rub it on her chest before bed, and she sleeps better. And then my funny story is, do read up on the oils, because my daughter has night terrors. And I did some research, and juniper berry is really good for night terrors. But I didn't read all the research on it, and it can be a stimulant. So the nights that we avoided night terrors and we were using the oils, at 2 o'clock in the morning, she woke up and she was ready to roll. I mean, I'm talking running full tit through the house. We turned on, I forget what we did. We turned on a cartoon. We could not figure out why she was like literally running in circles. I was like, she's so hyped up. We don't know what's going on. And the night we stopped doing it, she was fine again. So we use juniper berry with discretion at our house because we like her sleep too. But wild orange has been the ticket. And but anyway, I'm so excited because, you know, when we have another child, we are definitely going to be using essential oils. Day one, when they're even at the hospital, I've done a lot of reading too, even reading about women who are using oils in labor now, and for even their postpartum care. And I have no hesitation. You just gotta make sure you dilute it based on the recommendations. But I mean, they've saved our home and helped our sanity, because no one wants to get a call from daycare every day going, your child's got another diaper rash, or your child's butt split open, or your child's crying because their tummy hurts and they can't do anything about it. So, I mean, we have these tools at home, and I know she's healthier for it because she's not on all this other fillers and stuff in her body. So that's all I'm going to share. I sent a bunch of recipes to Leela, but if you have friends who just want to know about baby stuff, I've done a ton of research because of her sensitivities to things. And it's been amazing for us. So,
Awesome.
All
Thank
right.
you, Emily.
Mhm.
Did everyone get a ticket? Okay, cool.
All right, well, I hope you guys have learned at the class today. Do you feel like you've learned a lot today? It was great. I even learned. Okay, so I just want to take a quick couple of minutes before we do the raffle and just also let you know about doTERRA's opportunity. I was a user for 8 months. When I was introduced to doTERRA, I had no idea it was direct sales. I just thought I was ordering from the internet. So I decided, I had some friends who were very, very interested, and so my friend Chasey and I decided that we would have a class, tell all our friends one time, and be done. Well, that was in December of 2 years ago, right? Yeah, of 13. Yeah, December 2013, and I have not stopped teaching. And I love doTERRA as a company. They have an awesome compensation plan. It has provided a way for me to come home full time. Teaching 1 to 2 classes a month in 2014, I was able to replace my income. And now I'm staying home full time. I retired last month in February. So so thankful for that. But there is an opportunity with doTERRA, a business opportunity. You may not be interested in that. Some of you may. If you are, and you like to empower, you like to teach, you may not even like to do that, but you're passionate about these oils and you want to start getting your oils paid for, talk to whoever enrolled you, talk to me. We will sit down and talk to you about that. Okay. One more quick thing about doTERRA. doTERRA is considered healthcare, right? I mean, it is our healthcare. It's probably a lot of you and your healthcare for your family. Typical direct selling companies, the retention rate is about 13%. Pampered Chef, 31. That means about 13% of your clients are coming back every 1 to 3 months to purchase from you. Well, doTERRA's company's retention rate is 65%, and that is because it is healthcare. 1 out of every $6 in the United States is spent on healthcare. It's a $4.7 trillion industry. My personal team's retention rate is about 75%, and so that's why it's a great business to be in, because not only am I making money and I'm able to stay home, but I'm empowering people. And I love that. Now, don't get me wrong. I love my Pampered Chef, my pots and pans. I love my 31 bags, but I would not be sitting up here on a Saturday away from my family telling you about them. And not that it's not a good thing. And I'm not downplaying those things because I love them, but this is something that I'm passionate about and has changed our lives, and it can yours too. So that's my spiel. All right, so let's get to the fun stuff. Let me stop this. Let me just close it. There we go. All right.